One of the things was this family wanted to sue Tommy Robinson. They wanted to take Tommy Robinson to court, but they couldn't afford it. So they had subsequently set up a crowdfunding campaign in order for them to try and sort of raise funds so they could afford a lawyer. And it turns out they managed to get the money together in order to find a lawyer who would take the case. The lawyer in this case was a guy called Mohammed T Akunjee, who works for a solicitors in London called, I shit you not, Farouk Bajwa and Co. Solicitors of London. I get asked by this guy that they've decided that Tommy Robinson is going to be served legal papers so he can be sued by this family. And they asked me, do I want to be the one to go along to serve the legal documents? Now, I have to be honest, I'm not an idiot, so I was a bit sceptical as to whether or not this was legit. So I did a bit of background research, got a few people to verify that this was legit. Turned out it was. I spoke to the lawyer in question. Now, this is my entire involvement in this. I was simply going to be turning up with these legal documents to serve Tommy Robinson, his legal documents requiring this, which meant I had to go to his address, I had to take them, and I had to deliver them to whoever was there. That was all I knew about it. That was all I was told. I even had to, in order to make it legit, I had to sign a contract for one day, which meant for one day Dick Coughlin worked for a solicitors in London, and believe it or not, if I ever need to apply for a real job again, that is going on my CV. I was waiting for everyone else to get back to me on this one, and it turned out the plan was for the following Sunday, the subsequent Sunday, that was going to be the day we went to Tommy Robinson's house. Now I have to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big tough guy, I don't pretend to be a big tough scary guy, so I was a little bit nervous. I had no idea what the hell was going to happen. I wanted to make sure that my safety was going to be guaranteed, because I don't fucking know what the hell's going on. And if any of you are wondering, let me just clear this up, if any of you are wondering, why the hell did they pick me to do this? The answer is very simple. I don't fucking know. I don't have a fucking clue. But they decided to pick me, and this is what subsequently happened. So last Sunday, I travelled down to London. I went to Farouk Bajwa and Co. solicitors. I met with Mohammed so he can take us to where Tommy Robinson lives, and I can drop off this envelope. And that is literally all we did. This is where certain accusations are being made, completely and utterly irrelevant, by the way. All of these accusations. The first one is, well, why do you have to go to Tommy Robinson's house? Why can't you deliver them? That's why it's called serving someone their legal documents. You have to make sure that they are delivered to the person, because there is a 14-day notice on them. You have 14 days in which to respond to them, and in order for that to kick in, we have to know that the legal documents have been delivered to that person. More on that in a second, right? More on why that's relevant, right? But also, it turns out that at the time, Tommy Robinson was in Finland or Belgium, I'm not particularly sure, but his plane was due to land that day. In fact, it landed whilst we were fucking there. And then we get a lot of people saying, oh, you went to his house when he wasn't fucking in, cowards. Again, completely fucking irrelevant. It doesn't matter. He can't pull that one in court, Kit, by the way. You can't say, but Your Honour, I was not in the house when this bunch of soy boy beta cucks turned up in order to deliver the fucking documents. Therefore, this is null and void. That doesn't fucking work either. That's not a defence against anything that's happened. I personally had no idea. I didn't know till the morning of that day that that was what's going to happen. All I knew was I've got to deliver these documents. This was not about challenging Tommy or facing Tommy or calling Tommy out a person. That was fucking it. Now, there were a couple of other people there. Yes, of course there were. Now, there was this news then was reported in the Independent, in several other newspapers. I was name checked in the Independent, and since then there's been a lot of, because the only two people involved in this whose names and faces are actually visible is mine and the lawyer Mohammed Akunjee. Because of that, we've tended to be the focus, but more so me. And I was on. I was having the time of my fucking life on Twitter, getting, just absolutely, absolutely having a whale of a time. It was a lot of fun. And also checking my Facebook, which I had to put on private for a bit, but my Facebook message, I got, currently we're sitting at 247 death threats. On Twitter. Very good. That's a record for me. 247 in the space of a week. In the face of the first 2 days, it was actually less than 2 days. It was about 138. It worked out about one every minute. Here's a copy of some of the more choice ones, including my responses to some of them. But yeah, so I was getting absolutely fucking hammered, and that's when the video views on my last video about Tommy came up. But then Tommy made a video that same day. He made this really, and he was in the airport with his bag of duty frees, and it was a really whiny, and when you're in a fucking online drama with Dick Coughlin, and you're the one who comes across as the whiny, the whiny little bitch who's trying to get sympathy, you're in a fucking real sad state of affairs there. I'm standing there I'm just waving my dick in people's faces going, bring it on, motherfucker. But no, Tommy had to play the victim. Now, Tommy made several claims in this that are simply fucking not true. And not only are they not true, I'm going to show you how not true they fucking were. The first claim he made was that we went there and there were people, there were like 5 or 6 of us, and we were banging on the windows, and we were harassing this family, and we were there, there to intimidate people, and that's simply not true. I got no one at any point was anywhere near Tommy Robinson's address. In fact, not only did no one get anywhere near, I didn't get anywhere near. Here's why. When we turned up at the address, before we got there, we were stopped by a police. But no, he was there, and he said that, I told him why we were there. And he knew exactly why we were there or what we were doing. He could tell from the start. There's 3 people with cameras, and there's me there walking at the front. So he kind of figured. And then he led me down a road. He led me far away. He said the cameras could not go. The cameras were not allowed to film beyond this point. Now he was going to let me put it in the letterbox of the address, right? But before I could get to do that, 2 other policemen who were on the other side of the path stopped me and then said to me, "No, we'll take that off you. We will make sure that this letter is delivered," and yada yada yada. Now this is all on film, by the way, right? But Tommy was claiming. Now Tommy then goes on to claim that